In the far reaches of the cosmos, where the stars shimmered like diamonds scattered upon velvet, lay Veritas-9, a small outpost reluctant to recruit too much attention yet brimming with the warmth of an assuming life. It was a place nestled in the vibrant sway of a nebula that cast gentle hues of green and gold. The air buzzed softly with the sound of tiny creatures skimming through its atmosphere, and soft wind swayed the delicate grass that grew in patches, caressed by bioluminescent buds that flickered softly with shades of blue. For years, Veritas-9 had functioned as a temporary habitat for scientists, miners, and explorers giddy at the prospect of discovering what treasures the outer edges of the galaxy might hold. And on its unassuming structures, domes sparkling in the cosmic sunlight, one particular dome stood out, not because of its shimmer but because of its heart. Called the Dreamer's Rest, it was more than a hub for weary travelers. It was a sanctuary for souls seeking solace from the rigid laws of science and industry that seemed to govern their everyday lives. Inside the Dreamer's Rest, the air was always infused with the scent of sweet and terrible tea, and laughter floated through the halls like a melody. It was here that our story begins, a place that, to most, seemed insignificant amongst the stars, yet shone with the glow that invited both the ephemeral and the eternal. As the doors of the Dreamer's Rest slid open, a wave of warmth washed over. That is Kellan, a once enthusiastic explorer who currently felt like an obsolete piece of machinery in a world revolving too quickly around him. He had arrived on Veritas-9 after being handpicked, or perhaps more accurately, and ceremoniously volunteered to join the survey team at the outer edge of the galaxy. It was a mission to gather data on cosmic anomalies and, technically, an honor. Yet instead of thrilling excitement, what flooded through him was a profound weariness. "Welcome," chirped a cheerful voice, cutting through his cloud of thoughts. Behind the counter, Amelia Trask, a petite woman with vibrant purple hair and a spirit that commanded the room, waved at him enthusiastically. Her bright green eyes sparkled with warmth and energy. Amelia, that is, smiled, though it felt a bit forced. He appreciated her kindness, a continuous supply of it flowed from her, but there was something about his surroundings that felt overwhelming. The periodic reports he had received back on Earth had been nothing short of glamorous. Yet, standing here now, he felt utterly adrift, as though the stars themselves had snatched away his compass and left him in the dark. "Let me guess," she said playfully, pouring him a steaming cup of tea from a colorful pot. "A lack of adventure is the least of your worries, or are you currently grappling with a crisis of greatness, Commander Kellan?" Her laughter was contagious, and whether he liked it or not, he chuckled at her jest. "More like a crisis of purpose," he confessed, accepting the tea and cradling the warm cup in his hands. "I thought I'd feel something grand out here, the thrill of space, the excitement of the unknown. Instead, I've just been staring at these cobwebs of stars and feeling completely useless." "Oh, that is." Amelia's expression turned tender. "You're not useless. Being out here means you hope to find something remarkable not just in the stars, but possibly within yourself. You have to give it time to resonate. I promise you, you will find your purpose, maybe even something better." At that moment, a small group of children dashed past them, all companions aboard the Dreamer's Rest, little explorers with eyes wide as saucers and cheeks dappled with joy. They giggled and squealed, playing a game that involved running nimbly around the circular dining area. Thaddeus's gaze followed them, their laughter filled the air, echoing through the dome like a song of life, softening the edges of the seriousness that had enveloped him. "Hey, less running, more exploring," shouted one of the group's caretakers, a burly man named Larkin, who wore thick glasses that often slipped down his nose. "Don't make me chase you." The playful reprimand only unleashed another surge of giggles as the children raised, once again, their exhilarating energy, reminding Thaddeus of the untamed joy one could cultivate from the simplest pleasures. "That's the beauty of this outpost," Amelia added, her voice almost reverently. "People come together, share stories, inspire each other, and maybe, just maybe, discover something extraordinary. Like cosmic dust bunnies," he teased lightly, hoping to engage in some much-needed levity. "Exactly," she replied without missing a beat. "But seriously, we have crafts, games, and the stars to gaze at. And some of the brightest minds in the galaxy come here to share their work. If you're lucky, you might uncover a piece of a nebula or an aurora that sets your heart ablaze." "Yeah," he murmured softly, his gaze returning to the children. "But what if it's all just a part of the journey? What if I really can't find anything special?" "You will," she insisted, her eyes locked onto his in a sincere manner. "Just breathe, enjoy the view, and let what you uncover come to you. Perhaps the answer is waiting on the edge of the galaxy. All you need to do is be open to it." Slowly, the knots in Thaddeus's heart unfurled just a little. The warmth of hope curled around him as the children spun and leaped through the thrumming life of the Dreamer's Rest. Amelia stood beside him, her very presence an anchor to the earnest connection forming between them. He never imagined that on the edge of the galaxy, isolated from Earth, and trying his best to fend off thoughts of returning home, he would feel so connected to another person. As the afternoon sun sank below the horizon of star-studded skies, casting a blanket of twilight over the dome, Amelia turned towards him with a sudden spark of curiosity. "What's your favorite star?" she asked, her playful challenge lighting a fire in her spirited demeanor. "You can't just ask that." Thaddeus raised an eyebrow, feigning seriousness. "It's like asking a painter their favorite color." "Yes, exactly," she beamed enthusiastically. "Let's pretend like we're painters, then. What is your favorite star in this vast galaxy?" Thaddeus felt a genuine smile stretch across his face, recognizing the playful challenge nestled beneath her words. He could almost taste the tendrils of magic shimmering in the air. "I guess, if I had to choose, I would say Elysium star. It's brilliant blue but dims, just a little, as it dances along the edges of Nuvian Nebula. Like every time I catch a glimpse of it, I'm reminded of a comforting breeze after a long day." Amelia looked brightly at him, her expression shifting from playful banter to something softer. "That's beautiful, that is. Stars show us how even the smallest specks of light can light up the darkest parts of the galaxy. You know, you should celebrate little moments like that. Maybe it seems small now, but it might lead us to something incredible." Their eyes held each other for a moment, two souls poised for exploration, comforted by the light of stars and the gentle glow of humanity shared between them. While the thought of what lay ahead lingered in the distance, thick with mystery and potential as vast as space itself, here. And now, amid the giggles of children and the warmth of tea, Thaddeus Cullen's weary heart began to find its rhythm again. As night draped its star-speckled mantle across Verithus -9, wrapping it in magic long believed, he realized he wasn't just exploring the frontier of cosmic wonders, but also weaving connections that could tether his drifting spirit back to the heart of existence. And so they sat there, two dreamers on the edge of the galaxy, hearts open and ready to find whatever awaited beyond the horizon. Little did they know that the journey had only just begun, a journey that will lead them to discover not only the truths held within the universe, but the extraordinary tapestry of friendship, love, and hope that ties us all together in the grand cosmos. As the stars twinkled brightly above Verithus -9, Thaddeus felt a shift, a subtle unraveling of knots entwined deep within him, which had clung fiercely to his heart since he'd stepped aboard the shuttle. For the first time in weeks, he allowed himself to feel the freedom of the moment, buoyed by Amelia's warmth and the tender laughter of children swirling like stardust around him. Every evening, after the shift in duties, the dreamer's rest transformed into a veritable haven of creativity and camaraderie. Local artists from the nearby colony shared their craft, everything from painting cerulean landscapes of the nebula to constructing tiny spacecraft from glowing materials that lit up the room with awe. Amelia was always at the center of these gatherings, threading stories together like the tendrils of light that twisted in the evening sky, rallying each individual with her infectious enthusiasm and nurturing spirit. Thaddeus found himself growing closer to her, captivated by the way her laughter rang clearer and unfettered. Each day, they would share a quiet moment in the midst of the swirling chaos of community life, sipping herbal tea while discussing the wonders and weariness of life in space. Thaddeus began to see the dreamer's rest not just as a refuge, but as an extension of himself, a tangible expression of his aspirations, hopes, and dreams. One fateful evening, while the symposium buzzed vibrantly with laughter and music, Larkin, the group's caretaker, gathered the children with a beckoning call. "All right, little stars, it's time for our nightly adventure. Katha, want." Chubby hands reached out in excitement as the children squealed, forming a circle around Larkin. Thaddeus watched, arms crossed, leaning against a nearby wall, savoring the moment of innocence, brushing aside his recent solemnness. Larkin began to conjure tales of the adventures that lay beyond their familiar surroundings, a flock of interstellar birds gifted with cosmic colors, a hidden valley where the very fabric of space danced under the light of an ancient star. Amelia appeared at his side, her energy palpable as she turned toward him. "You should join, Thaddeus. Their imaginations know no bounds. You can inspire them with your own stories from Earth, and who knows, maybe you'll end up finding a spark of inspiration yourself." Thaddeus hesitated for a moment. Vulnerability often lurked in places where spirited hopes found foundations, yet Amelia's excitement was contagious, and a flicker of bravery sparked in his heart. "All right, but only if you help me improvise," he agreed with a mock groan, smiles dancing between them. As Larkin's awe-inspiring tales unfolded, Thaddeus stood, hesitant at first, but then unfolding his own narratives drawn from Earth tales of sprawling landscapes adorned with vibrant flora, of swirling rivers winding through ancient trees, and endless fields painted in hues of gold under the sun's gaze. He depicted paintings through his word and illuminated lives through story, letting the warmth of nostalgia guide him. As he spoke, he felt a sense of liberation wash through him. It was as though every word sent ripples across the crowd, each chuckle from the children weaving a thread to the emerging bonds of community. And in that shared experience of imagination, Thaddeus stumbled upon the spark he had so desperately sought. The realization hit him like the first blush of dawn. He wasn't just an individual lost in the void. Every story, every connection served as an anchor that drew him closer to his purpose. Later that evening, as families began to disperse, Amelia sidled next to Thaddeus, her cheeks flushed with excitement, laughter lingering in her eyes. "See, you've found your rhythm. Well, thanks to you," he replied, genuine and soft. "You have a way of bringing the colors out in people, Amelia." Her expression brightened, cheeks slightly pink to match the lavender lights glowing from the overhead fixtures. "Thank you, Thaddeus. I think we help each other grow. That's what community is all about, right?" She turned, casting a wistful look across the room. "And there's so much potential here. If we collaborated, if we brought everyone together for a special project, a mural of sorts, something that symbolizes unity amid the stars." Amelia's words hung in the air, hanging between them like a palpable dream. It sounded like a brilliant idea. The idea of a mural echoed through the dreamer's rest, weaving its way into conversations and sparking excitement among the residents of Verithis-9. Thaddeus felt a familiar thrill boiling within him as the vision of colored hues and imaginative designs began materializing in his mind. This project was not merely about painting a surface, it was an invitation for all to contribute their stories, their dreams. It would become a vibrant tapestry encapsulating the essence of their shared experiences in this corner of the universe. "Let's call a meeting then," Amelia suggested, her eyes sparkling like the cosmos outside. "We need to set up a gathering where everyone can share their ideas, their creativity. We want everyone's voice." Within hours, word spread rapidly throughout the Dreamer's Rest. The community responded enthusiastically. A buzz filled the dome as families, children, and explorers prepared for the meeting. Thaddeus found himself in front of a whiteboard, nervously scribbling ideas down, hesitating with each letter until Amelia gently placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "You've got this," she whispered. The warmth of her encouragement sent strength coursing through him, and he took a breath, lifted his chin, and faced the gathering crowd. The room was brimming with anticipation as Thaddeus explained their vision for the mural and how it would represent the diversity of life shared amongst the stars. He spoke passionately about each person's unique experiences contributing to a greater picture, one that unfolded on the canvas they would create together. Ideas began to flow, shapes and colors, formations of joy and unity, silhouettes of starlit figures all feeling equal in their chance to leave an imprint on the cosmic backdrop. Laughter erupted like meteors scattering across the dome. He watched in awe as children and adults animatedly sketched in the air with their hands, imagining stories that would transform into strokes of paint. "Let's include a central motif that incorporates elements from our homelands," proposed Larkin, his eyes shining with enthusiasm. "What about a tree with cosmic branches that reach outward? The roots can intertwine with spirals of galaxies," shouted one child, his voice rising above the chatter. "And we could weave in symbols from local cultures and spaces," another suggested, gripping a paintbrush like a wand. Thaddeus felt the invigorated ideas were swirling, interconnected like dance partners, rushing to a soft melody. Amelia's presence anchored him, her infectious silk stories free from the hearts of the residents. The energy in the room radiated like warm stardust, each sparkle resonating with a collective creativity blossoming. As plans took shape, they divided responsibilities, assigning roles to each resident, ensuring everyone had a task, whether it be sketching, drafting, painting, or logistics. Thaddeus felt first his apprehension, then a new wave of excitement. This was no longer just his endeavor, it belonged to the community. Their laughter rippled through the Dreamer's Rest. For the first time in a long while, he felt anchored back to the fabric of his own being, a reminder of his shimmering place among them. Weeks passed quickly in joyous labor. Each day found Thaddeus and Amelia working side by side, shoulders occasionally brushing while painting the grand opening strokes on the blank canvas they had set up. Colors bloomed like flowers across the surface, sprawling upward like dreams taking flight. Amelia would often share inspiring tales of her childhood while they painted. They spoke about the old oak tree from her home that stood guard over her family, reminding her of years past, of the roots that connected generations and the stories that flowed like rivers through her veins. Together, they created a celestial representation of that tree, a kaleidoscope of hues radiating outward across space, branches adorned with intricate leaves containing masterpieces from every resident, a brushstroke made with memories that had once been solitary, now intertwined. After days of intense work, laughter, and joy, the mural began to take form. Larkin shared stories of children wandering beyond the stars, while some members arranged fabric scraps collected from various missions, each fold and stitch echoing whispers of homes far away. The materials felt warm beneath their fingers, and the children pranced around, filling small canvases with sketches recounting their adventures with jubilant abandon. As the project grew, Thaddeus began to recognize the transformation within himself, made evident by the stories whispered through pastel colors. The mural now represented a communal bond forged by words and songs, laughter and shared glances. and in witnessing its manifestation, he felt the burden of isolation gently lift. He no longer felt like an orphan of the stars, but rather vibrant thread in a colossal tapestry woven of togetherness. With a week left until the grand unveiling, it was time to prepare a celebratory event, a convergence of art, stories, hearts, and laughter. As they arranged the layout of the Dreamer's Rest for the occasion, excitement surged. Each person contributed effortlessly, as if they were all stars aligned, written in fate's constellation. Their community deepened by little acts of kindness splashed across the canvas of their lives. The night before the unveiling, Thaddeus stood gazing at the mural, which now radiated life and energy from every crevice. Under the shimmering lights of Verithus Minus 9, it looked ethereal, a cosmic gateway inviting the viewer to transcend physical boundaries and dive wholeheartedly into the narratives painted across its surface. "Look how far we've come," Amelia said softly, warmth flooding her voice as she joined him, side by side, admiring the collective creation, the product of hard work and shared stories that radiated hope. "It's beautiful, isn't it? Just like us." Thaddeus drew in a breath, the air thick with magic. "I never knew how much joy could manifest from connection. It feels like we're all drifting together now, an entire galaxy of friendships." As they prepped for the event the next day, Thaddeus realized they were not alone in their journey of discovery. They were dreamers, souls intertwined in heavenly harmony, sharing the burdens of the cosmos while uplifting each other with laughter, warmth, and creativity. On the day of the unveiling, the atmosphere of the Dreamer's Rest buzzed with an electrifying mix of anticipation and wonder. Families gathered, wearing smiles that sparkled like the stars, while the scent of freshly baked goods wafted through the air. It became a tapestry of laughter, song, and humanity, a testament to their collective joys. Thaddeus felt his heart swell with pride as he looked upon the faces, the children beaming with excitement, the adults animatedly sharing stories, and Amelia's joyous laughter echoing through the crowd. "Today," he announced, once the room settled, his voice steadying as he summoned courage from the depths of his journey, "we stand here, connected, celebrated, and alive, dancing together beneath the same canopy of space. Each stroke of paint that adorned this mural tells a story, everyone's story. We honor that tapestry through unity and hope, woven through kindness and love." A soft hush fell across the crowd as his words resonated, and he turned toward the mural, the stars glowing softly in the backdrop while its colors ignited life and joy all at once. "Let us unveil this symbol of our interconnectedness." With that, they pulled down the shimmering veil that had covered the mural. Gasps of awe filled the room, resonating with whispers and exclamations of joy as the mural stood lit and illuminated, casting an ethereal glow. It was more than he could ever have hoped for, the blurring boundaries between earth and starlight, the intertwining realms of life and love emerging and entwining in a cosmic dance of beautifully shared moments. And Thaddeus felt a tear slide down his cheek, a tear gratitude and fulfillment. In that moment, he understood that community was born from mutual experiences, memories shared amongst glimmers of joy and laughter. Each person, each star, was an intrinsic element of the vast universe and held a celestial essence that breathed life into those around. Then, as the evening unfolded amidst fiery colors of celebration, laughter erupting like shooting stars, people began to move toward the mural in admiration. Thaddeus watched as the children danced around it, their laughter becoming an echo reflecting beats of determination and hope. Amelia was at his side, her gaze glimmering with happiness. "You see, the universe has a magical way of connecting us when we open our hearts to each other." "Yes," he whispered, embracing the moment fully, taking in the laughter, the love, and the warmth around them. "And it makes all the difference. Thank you for that, Amelia. For everything." With a deep breath, he turned to face the mural, letting his heart resonate with the collective spirit that bridged time and space. This was home, this was family, and no longer would he wander aimlessly. He would drift among them, anchored, spirited, and endlessly vibrant among the stars. As the stars twinkled above Verithus Minus 9, glistening bright with cosmic wonder, quietly wishing upon the canvas of the sky, Thaddeus found peace in his heart, a transcendent sense of fulfillment, bonded with a galaxy of dreamers thriving together amidst the infinite tides of existence.